Hello there, this is Sandy, and I'm back at the Babylock Solaris. It's been a few weeks since I had a video, and had a lot of family things come up, and a short sister's trip at a cabin, and so now I'm back at it. And I'm working on this Designs by Juju design. It's a cutaway bow applique that I'm putting on the side of a sweatshirt. So I already did one side, and I thought it would be fun to share how I did this process. Here's how it looks. And I found my sweatshirt at a resale shop because I was trying it out and I didn't know how it worked, and I'm actually quite happy with it. I was deciding whether or not to put it on two sides or just one side, and I decided to just let's do two sides and share how I did it with you. So the first thing I did was I'm using this Babylock magnetic hoop and some sulky sticky paper stabilizer, and then I have this it's like a little score tool from Dime, and I just do like a X here, across, and then I start ripping it out and tearing it back. So I'll show you a little bit of that, and then I will move on to the next. But this is pretty easy. You just score it with this tool, and then you start ripping away so that the field is all sticky, so that I can press down my sweatshirt on it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to finish peeling this off. I'm going to go ahead and position the sweatshirt, and then I will come back. So I'm back at the machine, and I had paused the video, and it paused, and I pressed play, and then for some reason when I started to tape again, it stopped. So I'm going to tell you what I did in that short part where it stopped. As I just stitched the first line, which is the placement line, and you probably can see it over here. I had also flipped my design upside down or rotated it because I knew that I was going to be feeding in my sweatshirt side from, like, the bottom is going towards away from me. So what I have to do now that the placement line is stitched is look for the side seam and make sure that that side seam is placed in the center of the placement stitch. And so that's what I'm going to be doing. And I also want to make sure that the ribbing, I think, goes a little bit below, so that when it stitches out, it will not, if it stitches way too low, then I'll have a problem, because this part, it won't be reinforced. You want the stitching to be on the fabric. And we learned that in embroidery club. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to lift it, and then also make sure that I've got like the tip centered, and then press it down. And you might have seen some white interfacing or stabilizer on the back. I figured I was trying to get rid of some stabilizer, and I thought maybe I could use it on this, just to keep it nice and crisp. But we'll see. I liked how the first one turned out, and I want to make sure that I get all of the sweatshirt out of the way so I don't stitch over it by accident, and trying to make it less bulky so it doesn't pull on the sticky paper and pull it away. I think that looks good. So now I'm going to go ahead over here as a double check, and I'm going to use the projector. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move the projector around. It looks like it's pretty centered. Maybe I could move it over a little at the top, but it's pretty good. And then I'm just checking the bottom here too. So this part here, I think it probably could go up a little bit. And as long as I'm lifting it up, I can move it over just a little. And we'll see how that looks. There. Yeah. Okay, so in order to move the projector around, I'm just using this little square here. And as I do that with the little square, the projector is showing on my garment. And so I'm going to do that a little more just to check it one more time. And the bottom one more time, and it looks really good. So the next thing I'm going to do is slow down the stitches to about 350. And I'm going to start the stitching. So it's just a hair a little bit off, but that's okay. Okay, I'm gonna press OK. In the beginning, I slowed it down a little bit because going over this thicker part, you know, I didn't want to have an issue. And this is really the placement stitch, and normally you just do that when you put down your stabilizer and such, but for some reason, after I stitched the placement stitch, the projector key didn't work. I thought it used to work, but I think I think that's correct, that it doesn't work. It works before you start stitching. So I think since I've already put the placement stitch there, I can go ahead. What's the next one? Okay, so the next one is the stitching lines, or the placement lines, for the first part of the bow. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch those. And then I'm going to get my fabric ready because, of course, once you got a placement line, then you've got to lay down fabric and then stitch the tack down and trim away. That's a pretty typical design in the hoop. I'm going to go get my table. I'm using a batik fabric, which is fun. I got some spare, like a batik pack from my sister, and it's cool because it's something she didn't use, but she passed it on to me, so now I'm using it. Okay, so that's the placement. And now I'll put my fabric down. There we go. And there's the next one. It goes on around 2 times since it's the tack down, which is good. Just got some really pretty metallic thread from my local sewing store, the sewing source in Lake Villa, and they have all different colors. I was thinking about using it on here, but then I thought, well, this is the first time I've embroidered on the side of a sweatshirt, so I will wait and save that for the next time, since I think it would be fine, but since it's metallic and going through thick things, I might have had to babysit it more. So, and I only have so much time tonight to work on this because I need to work on some cards for my daughter. So I wanted to do what I could get done the most efficiently. And I'll use that metallic thread going in the future. Now what I'll do is when it's done stitching this, I'm going to take it out of the hoop. Not out of the hoop, but out of the embroidery arm and trim around those 4 parts of the bow that it just stitched, and then I'll be right back and hopefully this will continue recording. Okay, so I'm back here. I've trimmed away everything. Now I'm ready to go on to the tack down or the placement line for the next fabric. And I can't remember if well, it's not that I can't remember, it's that I think I said in the video before this, or it could have been the one that I thought I was recording and it wasn't actually recording, that I went ahead and I used sticky paper in the embroidery hoop, sticky tearaway, and then I actually put some stabilizer on the back of the sweatshirt just because this is the first time that I've done this and I wanted it to be sturdy, strong. It's just a really soft stabilizer that I was wanting to use up. Now that we've got that placement line stitched, I can lay down the next fabric. And trying to see, I used, yeah, I'm looking at the other bow because I know a certain part of this bow had, let's see, pink. I think I did this like pink at the top and blue on the bottom, just trying to make it a little bit similar. Okay, I think that should be good. I should have ironed that, but oh well. I ironed the other one. All of these pieces that I got were folded in half. And then the same thing on this one. After it stitches around 2 times, then I will trim away around the outside of the fabric, all around the whole ribbon, and then I'll feed it back into the machine for the final satin stitch around the whole thing, and that will take a while, so I might speed that part of the video up. And now that we've gone around the whole ribbon, it's going to go around there again, so I'm going to go ahead and increase the speed. Almost gotten away. This is the kind of project that you can't walk away from. get to work again. I'll be right back. I've trimmed away all of the fabric, but one thing I have to do is trim away this part so that when it does the satin stitch, it will look good. So that's what I'm going to do next. Hang in there. Okay, I've gone ahead and trimmed that part out, and now I'm ready to do the last round of stitching. And I'll press OK. I went ahead and slowed the machine down again till I get past these parts here where I think I'm good, because I got the foot high, which I think I said in one of the prior snippets of this video. It looks good though, as far as the placement. It does like certain sections of the ribbon when it's stitching, you'll see. And I'll try to speed it up, but you can also fast forward if you don't want to watch this part. I'm trying to think what's gone on since the last time I made a video. A lot of family things happening. I went to a cabin with my 4 sisters and my sister-in-law. We stayed there for 3 days. It was really nice. It's in the White Pines Lodge in, let's see, Mount Morris, Illinois. It's not that far away. Saw a show there. It was really good at the theater they have there. They are always having shows at that theater. And let's see if I can move this in for you a little bit, if you actually do want to watch it stitch. This is a really thick sweatshirt I found at the resale shop. Really nice, and it has a pocket in the front. No hood, just a nice heavy sweatshirt, which I don't usually like them too heavy because I'm always hot, but I figured this should be fine. And then if I want another sweatshirt, if I want to do it for gifts or something, I can decide from here if that's something I want to do. But this one will be mine. I don't think that it needs that stabilizer behind the sweatshirt that I used. I was just trying to use it up. I thought that it matched good with the type of fabric I was embroidering on, so I went ahead and used it. But I've seen other sweatshirts with the bow on the side, and I don't think they use any kind of stabilizer besides the tearaway. I just know that, like, there's that rule out there, if you wear it, don't tear it, and so I thought I should put something behind it. And but I don't think, watching this stitch out and feeling it afterwards, I don't know that you need it. Especially if you stay above, a little bit above the end of the ribbing. It looks like it's way above here, but it's actually, when it does the satin stitch, as you can see on this side, that also looked the same. But when it does the satin stitching, it's just right. And so according to this, for my Solaris, it's going to take 22 minutes for this to stitch out. So I think I'm going to position this, and I will let you watch the whole thing if you want. But I think I'll fast forward it when I actually go to edit the video. I went to a stripology course, and I'm working on that. I could show you that. One moment. once it gets done with this part down here, I can speed it up when it's up in this area. So here, this was like a square. And then I sewed on the two sides, borders. And then what you do is you use a special ruler to cut all of these pieces, a stripology. I don't know what it's called. It's not a stripology ruler, I don't think. I could get it. It's big. It's really big, and you lay it down on your fabric, and you can cut out a lot of these 2.5-inch strips all at once. It's really great. I had fun at the class. And then when you're done sewing this together, you press it real nice, and then you cut it down center. Actually, no, you don't. Sorry, back that up. You put the ruler on there, you line it up so it's down the center, but then you run the cutter into these slots at certain measurements, and then you get a strip that you flip. You cut the strip out of the center, and then you flip it so that it's the white end would be down at this side, like this. So it's not the same color block, but you get the idea. This piece used to be up here. I just flipped it, and then you sew both sides together, and then when you're done, you piece them together, and it looks really cool. And I'm working out of a book. I could share that with you while it's stitching out. All right. The ruler, the book itself is, let me get to the first page. It's called Stripology Quickies. And I took the class at the Sewing Source in Lake Villa. And let me find the one that we're working on. We're working on this quilt called Lilo. And as you can see, like these are that's the square that I showed you, and you piece them together in different directions, and that will be fun. The ruler is huge, and in the book, let's see, it's made by Creative Grids. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you this, but see, oops, I touched the machine. Let me see if I can back this up more. It's called Creative Grids, and the Stripology XL ruler. There's a regular size ruler, and then there's this big ruler that I can't even fit it in the field of the camera. But see those slots, and there's arrows they've got down at the bottom there. That's where I was lining up my pieces of fabric so I could cut them efficiently. So that's the class that I went to, again, at the Sewing Source in Lake Villa, Illinois. They got a new class list up at their website, and if you go, let me know if you're local. And this is August, what is it, the 26th? I don't know the exact date. I should, but I've been running around all day. I didn't even look. And 2025. So when I said there's a class list up there, keep that in mind. I gotta get over here because this is getting too close, making me nervous. I didn't think I have to worry about that using a 5x7 hoop. But, hold on one second. So now that you've watched that stitch out for a little while, I think I can speed it up. There. That's better. I already went by this side here, so we should be good to go as far as not having an issue with sweatshirt falling in. Have you ever done one of these sweatshirts? They're really easy. And again, I got this from Designed by, actually got it, it's a Designed by Juju pattern, but I got it through my sewing embroidery club at the sewing source. If you buy your machine there, it's a certain price per month, and usually they include a design and some instruction on how they worked on it, and if they ran into any problems, any helpful hints. And it's a different price if you haven't bought your machine there. At least that's what it is as of now. That's the way I understand it. But if you look in the description of my videos, I always list their website because I'm trying to help promote small businesses like theirs. Trying to think what else I did. It's been so busy. My daughter just got engaged, and so that's been fun and exciting. Family celebrated some birthdays, so we went to a local carnival and just ate the food there. That was fun. Less work for everybody, but it was fun. It's always fun to get together. So it's been a busy summer, and I can't believe we're already at the end of August. It's just flying by. I went to Hobby Lobby yesterday, and they already have holiday decorations, Christmas decorations. Out. I guess I wasn't too shocked. It just goes to show that Christmas is going to be here faster than we know it. This gift is a great, this design is a great idea for a gift. You can get like maybe a black sweatshirt and use some gold fabric, or some other kind of red fabric and use gold thread. So many things you could do with this design. And at the embroidery club, they tried doing a different design on the front of a I think it was a tunic type top. It looked really pretty, but I don't think I'll have time to do that. But think of that, giving that as a present. I think you will probably use this at the top of a sweatshirt. The same idea. You might have to plan placement a little bit more, or you could create your own, use your own designs in your machine. Look for designs that would work good on the side of a sweatshirt or the front of a sweatshirt. And I think we're doing something really fun for this. Would be the August, consider the August Embroidery Club meeting. I got to see what we were going to work on. I can't say what it is, but it's really, it's always something really cute. And we always have a good time together, just visiting and networking. We always trade good ideas of what's working for us in embroidery, what's not working for us. If you have problems with something, you can usually bring it up. It's a good club to be a part of. And it's usually the very last Saturday of each month. And so after this, I get to work on some cards for my daughter. And then I'm done for the night. Tomorrow is another day for fun sewing and embroidery. It's fun to be back in the room. I haven't been so busy doing things for family and stuff, but I haven't even been in here to sew since my last video. Except for that Stripology quilt. But I don't know if that's something you guys want to see. So I could show you how I'm sewing them together if that's interesting to anyone. Or let me know in the comments. And if you like my channel still, give it a like, share with a friend, make a comment. And if you do try this, you might consider, if you don't have any spare sweatshirts to play with, you could go to the resale shop like I did. It still cost me $5 though. I think that was kind of pricey, but it is a good sweatshirt and it was for a good cost. Ever want to see a tour of my little sewing room, it's packed. I've had to go up because I have half the room dedicated to card making and scrapbooking and things like that, paper crafting, and then the other half is, or maybe I should say 2/3, is sewing and embroidery. I do my own nail art just for myself. And I like to make jewelry. Not as much as I used to, just once in a while gifts. I like to make little books, storybooks for my grandchildren. I love doing that. But I don't do it every year. So it does involve a lot of time. I like to change things up too. Yeah, I could show you the rest of my thread. So these are the threads. This is all metallic thread. And it's by, let's see, is there a name on here? It says Spotlight. Spotlight? I think it's 40 weight. Like all the different, the only ones they didn't have there was, I think, silver and gold. And one more. So, looks like it's done. Okay, so I'll take it out. There it is. And now all I have to do is take that off. Cut away the backing that I have. Otherwise, next time I probably won't use any, what's it called? Stabilizer on the back of the sweatshirt itself, besides the tearaway. I think it's strong enough. But I'm going to wear it and wash it for a while, so maybe I'll decide after I do that. But that's it. So let me know what you think. Are you going to give this one a try? I'm sure you could search for it at Designs by Juju and find it easy. But I believe I gave the name. If not, I'll try to put it in the title of the video. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed.